Have you ever met someone who makes a lot of money but lives like a cheapskate? They drive a nice car, great job, solid income, maybe 6 figures, maybe more. But then the bill comes at dinner and they're suddenly doing mental math over who ordered the extra side. Or they'll spend 45 minutes hunting for a $3 coupon. Split a subscription they could afford 10 times over. Leave a tip that says more about them than they realize. You think, why? They obviously have the money. So what exactly are they protecting? Here's what most people miss. This isn't really about money for them. Money is just the surface. Beneath that penny pinching of a high earner is a psychological profile that is surprisingly complex and surprisingly revealing. Psychology suggests that money behavior is rarely random. We tend to write this behavior off. We call them frugal. We say they're just careful with money. We respect it, maybe, or we find it a bit annoying and move on. But when someone earns well above average and still refuses to spend comfortably, that's not financial discipline. That's a signal, a pattern worth decoding. Because money for most people isn't just currency, it's identity, it's safety, it's power, it's proof of something. And how someone treats money when they have enough of it, that tells you almost everything about how they treat the world. Here are 5 psychological patterns behind this behavior. 1. Scarcity mindset fossil. A lot of high earners didn't start out as high earners. They grew up watching every dollar, anxious about the next bill, conditioned to treat spending as danger. And then the money came, but the wiring didn't change. Psychologists call this scarcity mindset, a cognitive framework built in conditions of financial stress that continues to operate long after those conditions are gone. The brain learned spending is a threat, and it doesn't easily unlearn that. The most unsettling part is that no amount of income actually fixes it, because it was never about the money, it was about feeling safe, and they still don't. They are not being cheap, they're still surviving a past that ended years ago. 2. Control as identity. Here is where it gets interesting. For some high earners, tightness with money has nothing to do with fear, everything to do with control. Spending feels like surrender, like losing grip on something. Money becomes a proxy for autonomy. Every dollar retained is a dollar that no one else can touch, influence, or take. It's not hoarding, it's armor. But here's the implication. People who are deeply compelled to control their money are often deeply compelled to control everything else. Resources, relationships, outcomes, all of it. Their wallet isn't closed, their world is. 3. Validation decoupled from spending. This is often misunderstood. Most people spend partly to signal to their environment, to the people around them, to the society. The restaurant choice, the outfits, the gifts, they are all quiet statements about who we are and how we want to be seen. But high-earning penny pinchers have completely disconnected their self-worth from that performance. They don't need to spend to feel significant. Their identity isn't built on what they display, which sounds admirable, but it can also read as indifference to the people around them who still operate in the social economy of generosity and reciprocity. 4. Money as a scoreboard. For a specific type of high earner, accumulation is the point. Psychologists have identified this as a form of abstract goal pursuit, where the metric becomes more motivating than any real-world outcome. The bank balance is the trophy, and spending diminishes the trophy. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because people who are chasing any number, are often running from something they can't name. More is never enough. The finish line keeps moving. The anxiety underneath never quiets. They don't have a spending problem. They have an arrival problem. They don't know what enough looks like. 5. Distrust disguised as disciplined. This one is the most overlooked. Some high earners are penny pinchers because deeply they don't trust the world to remain stable. They've seen things fall apart, their own life or someone else's, and money is their hedge against chaos. Their tightness with money is only the symptom. Their trust issues is the diagnosis. It's like building a fortress brick by brick, except theirs is dollar by dollar. Their behavior is not a character flaw. It's a wound that never got treated. So the next time you watch someone count pennies they'll never need to count, don't judge the behavior. Look underneath. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.